And we're going live in 3, 2, 1. And no messages. Oh my goodness, we're live because it's usually the Tony D era message that usually sends us into HE double hockey sticks. This is Ted Hicks from Late Night Parents. Ways to follow the show, latenightparents.com. We have Brian TX. He's in the building.
Hello.
Brian, what's going on, man?
Just another beautiful hot day in Texas.
Yo, I think a few weeks ago, well, you know, we all talk every day through instant messenger and everything else like that. iMessage. I just saw like in Texas 106, 105, just constantly day after day after day. I was just like, that's more than a heat wave.
Yeah. I mean,
how are you
like
surviving in there?
I mean, I'm used to it. I mean, because living in Houston, it's a tone. No, but like living in Houston and everything, because we're not far from Galveston and then the Gulf of Mexico, so all that warm water, that's what's bringing our humidity. But then I also worked when I was out in the oil field. I worked out in West Texas, out like Midland, Odessa area, where it's like straight the Permian Basin, where it's like just straight up desert. So I got the humidity of the heat, and then I have the dry heat. So
what's going on, Tone? What's going on? The General Mike Patton.
Mike,
he's in the building.
Don't worry, I picked Tannehill and D Hop.
So, are you talking about like some iridescent algae type stuff in Texas?
No, nothing I know of. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. I just know like it's just going to be another hot day in the warehouse.
Got you.
Yeah,
got you. A lot of stuff to cover. Brian, we missed you for a couple of weeks because we know you're super busy.
Yeah, I feel bad for that because it's like picking up my brother from the airport and then other stuff going on, and
life gets in the way, my friend.
Yeah,
life tends to get in the way of things, and you got to handle that stuff.
Yeah,
you got to handle that stuff. So you know you're dependent upon to do certain things. Hey, I do want to shout out Tiffany Golden and Leza Moreno. They sent me the book Wash Day. I don't know if you can see it. On the Tugs, sweet and honest exploration of the ups and downs of Wash Day. We'll have, hopefully, have these authors on in a few weeks to talk about hair texture and all this other type of stuff. But they put together a really nice kids book on how you deal with those type of things. Always excited about that. Always excited. You know what? I used to live in the realm of dealing with a lot of different authors and everything else like that. I used to speak to a lot of different people, and then COVID happened, and just like that part of the world just shut down. But it's good to see a lot of that stuff has been reopening. I'm looking to potentially go to CES this year for 2024. And start to re-establish some of those contacts.
Yeah.
We have joining Mr. B. He's in the building.
I'm here, so I won't get fined.
Mike Patton says was on New Orleans radio this afternoon getting.
Hold on, I'm gonna jump on. I'm gonna come right back. Hold on.
Okay. Was on New Orleans radio this afternoon getting Saints fans prepared for.
I'm gonna jump on. I'm gonna come back.
For their game against the Titans. Okay.
Hold on.
What station was that, Mike Patton? Was it WBOV? I think it's like a black-owned station down there. Wendell Pierce from The Wire, from Jack Ryan, and all the above. He's one of the owners of one of the stations down there in New Orleans. So I'm not sure if Mr. B is up or Mr. B is down, but
Do you hear me?
Yeah.
Loud and clear.
Okay, I'm here. Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
I'm good, man. How y'all doing? So,
doing well. We got we got
Mr.
Brian
what's
in the
happening?
building. We got
Mr.
Brian
what's
in the
happening?
building.
Yes, we got Big Brian. What's happening, Brian?
None man.
Hey, you know what? Let me start off early. You know, we usually don't do shout outs, but for the last couple of weeks, we have been doing shout outs.
Yes, sir.
So definitely want to shout you two gentlemen out. Brian, thank you for coming through. I know you have a super side schedule of time. Of course, Mr. B, who's always rocking on the B sides.
Yes, sir.
Tony D, who will be back with us in a few weeks.
Yes, indeed.
Definitely give a shout out to SNS Podcast. Sunday Night Smoke. Randy Horton, Michael Bathurst, Glick with Nonsensical Nonsense Podcast, Carmen, All About the Joy Podcast, Helen Wallace, and a whole host of others that do podcasts and live streams from afar. I don't have cards like Fireman Rich Roberts in the morning, where he's out there putting on display our cards with our the app formerly known as putting up those handles and everything else like that. So like I said, a lot of great broadcaster podcasters, live streamers, and the like. So salute to all of you guys. Ryan, you got a couple of minutes with us?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to get into a specific topic. Number one, it's layered. How do we fix Disney?
That is
political. We could talk apolitical. How do we fix something like this? This used to be a behemoth, and stock prices are down, fans are down. Everyone's talking about regurgitated storylines and shows like Asuka. You know, the original content is nowhere to be found. ESPN losing subscribers. You know, how much do you want me to pay for Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney Plus? The theme parks. We've talked on many occasions about
cruise lines.
Go broke.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Cruise lines.
You know, theme parks.
Everywhere.
It seems like it's hemorrhaging everywhere.
Yep.
But if a question I want to pose to both of you gentlemen, if you were in the succession plan with Bob Iger, you're going to be named the new CEO of Disney. How would you guys fix it?
That's a very good question. I mean, overall, you need a huge overhaul. I would say to stick to, what made Disney, like focus on what made Disney become Disney. Keep it family oriented. And as far as stories and all that, like just have some, I don't know, have some originality to it. I mean, not remakes, from animation. I mean, not having. I mean, like just on the remakes, just upgrade a little bit, but don't. Uh, Dang, it's kind of difficult to phrase it, but just keep it simple, keep it pure, and just 100% original, I guess. I mean, and plus have some really, really good, talented writers and pay them well.
Okay. Mr. B, JoJo, what's your thoughts on fixing Disney if you were in the session with Bob Iger?
Pretty much what Brian said, man. You get the overhaul. Stick to the meat and potatoes of what really makes Disney Disney. Yeah. Um, the writer situation, you're gonna have to get some good writers. I think you got to come back with the animation side of things, but keep things straightforward. New ideas on the animation aspect. And if you're gonna do live action with the movies that would draw interest in doing live action movies, I guess.
Agreed.
Um, ones that we never really they never really touch on. Um, everybody got crazy about the Little Mermaid, but you have Princess and the Frog there. You ain't touching Princess and the Frog. You got a couple other movies that are on the Disney bandwagon you haven't really touched yet. Pardon me, you got a motorcycle out here. And there's a lot of things you could do, but you got to stick to the meat and the potatoes of things, the family oriented movies, and do those things, man. Because y'all trying to branch out and you trying to do the most when you don't really have to do the most. Keep things pretty simple. Stick to those things, and they'll come back, man. They'll come back.
Yeah, and also to keep the politics of the social justice issues out.
Yes.
Your entertainment. I mean, we deal with enough riffraff on a day-to-day basis. We don't need that when we're trying to clock out and just zone out for
Yo,
2,
yo.
3 hours and just we want to watch a good story, want to watch good entertainment.
Yes, indeed.
Gary, what's going on? What would you guys do with ESPN? Would you split off? Would you let it go direct to consumer? Would you like that used to be the cash cow? It doesn't seem like the cash cow anymore with the subscribers going left and everything else like that.
As far as ESPN goes, man, you're gonna have to let go of ESPN in some aspect. Because it's trickling down to ESPN. And even
Right.
ESPN is getting the brunt of it, man. They keep trying, you try to do your best, but they keep trying to plug, all this stuff, what I mean, things that are happening, and it's cool. Okay, there's things happening in the world, but there's a lot of things y'all guys are bringing up on the broadcast. That's like, what are we doing here, man? You know what I mean? It's like, really, this is where we're going. This is where we're going. You guys are serious, Um, yeah, just let those dudes breathe out, man. If I'm Disney, let it go, or if not, put a check on it, man. Like, hey, we're not gonna do that. We're gonna stop doing that, and we're gonna do what we're here to do. You guys are gonna do what you're there to do, and that's bring the sports and all that. And when it needs to be discussed, we'll talk about those certain issues. But other than that, just leave it as it is, man. And that's it, pretty much.
Yeah, go back to basics. Same thing with like Marvel and Star Wars. I mean, they have some really good writing. I mean, because like She-Hulk could have been better if writing was better. I don't like the episode where Charlie Cox comes back as Daredevil, and instead of being like a total badass like he was in the Netflix Daredevil on the She-Hulk, he's pretty much like a boy toy, like a kick-ass boy toy. But it's like, no, that's not Matt Murdock, dude.
No, it's not.
I mean,
I guess this is a continuity question. Is the Netflix Daredevil supposed to seem Marvel Daredevil, or is it a totally different universe, or is it? How does
it's
that
not.
work?
It's not. It wasn't declared in the MCU until when Charlie Cox made his appearance on Spider-Man: No Way Home. Then it's like
Yeah.
like now he's part of the MCU. But before that, same with the Punisher and the Defenders and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones. They were all pretty much. It's still Marvel because when they show Marvel, but it's not like Marvel Studios or anything like that.
Is that Sony thing?
Ah,
I think it's
okay.
kind of that Sony thing.
But
Okay.
yeah, but I love Daredevil on Netflix. I loved Punisher on Netflix
Yes.
because it was gritty, good story, good dialogue. I mean, I was invested.
Yeah,
I really felt that they failed with the Defenders on Netflix, and was really, really up for it. And I kind of felt let down after watching that 8-episode Netflix, The Defenders, and
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, my expectations were too high, but getting those 4 pulled together.
Well, and also too, I think the reason why you kind of weren't invested into it is because you're not familiar with Iron Fist. You're not familiar with Jessica Jones. Now, Daredevil and Elektra, yes. Luke Cage,
Yes.
maybe, yeah. So I think with Iron Fist and a couple of Jessica Jones, I think that's what threw me off because I never heard of Jessica Jones. I only know a calorie of Iron Fist, but mainly Marvel is like your X-Men, Daredevil, Punisher, Moon Knight, all that Marvel stuff. That's what I know.
And they dropped the ball not putting those dudes in the continuity of Marvel movies and whatever the motion pictures.
Yes.
That was one of the biggest problems with Marvel. Even though you putting all these shows out, you have the movies out, you have the shows out, you're not linking the two together. You're not doing a lot of that stuff. So you're losing out on a Luke Cage and an Iron Fist, the Jessica Joneses, which are very interesting comic books and interesting comic book heroes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Luke Cage has had his whole bevy of villains and team ups and whatnot. Jessica Jones, her own storylines there, and Iron Fist. Which is kind of weird because they had that. What was the movie? Shang-Chi. What was it?
Oh, Shang-Chi, yeah.
Yeah. And you didn't really put, you know what I mean? There's a lot of weirdness that's going on in Marvel that I really still don't understand to this day. But it's beyond me.
But I will say this though, when Spider-Man No Way Home, when Matt Murdock made his appearance, like the theater I was in, we all went nuts. We're like, as soon as it came, we heard his voice, we're like, oh no, can it? And then when it showed him, we're like, he's in. Yes, Matt Murdock is in.
Yeah.
And then watching Hawkeye, Kingpin is in it. Vincent D'Onofrio is reprising his role as Kingpin. I'm like, I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So
you can only link these things together, man. But it's good though. It's good. But Disney's taking a different approach because Disney's doing the questionable PG awkward angle to it. So it's like
social issues.
Yeah, you lose a lot of steam on the shows there. Don't even let me get into Secret Invasion now. I learned a horrible thing about Secret Invasion that really ticked me off, man.
That Nick Fury followed in the James T. Kirk's footsteps.
The fact that Secret Invasion was written in progression with the show. That they never even had the series fully written off yet. So while
No.
they were doing the first episode or 2 episodes, they were trying to write episode 3 and episode 4. And it was like, we're going to write along as we're putting these shows together. And it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean yeah, cause my my best friend Kenneth and I, we're watching it. We're just going like, this is like a it's a plateau, because how some shows, every new show is going to start off slow, granted, because they want you to introduce the characters, have their backstory, blah 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 blah. But then throughout the episodes, you're just like, oh, this was good, or this one's flat. It's supposed to go up and down. But Secret Invasion was just plateau all the way through.
Yeah, they didn't have ideas as they were going with the show. And the show's a mini series. There's not many episodes. What the hell? You telling me you didn't fully write this show out and you put in the episodes out? What?
They're rushing.
They're
rushing. They were rushing, and it just seems like this iteration or these, everything after game is just thrown out, and it's like going to a buffet. There's just so much that's there, but it's not quality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like WandaVision, in the beginning of WandaVision, you're kind of left in a flux of like, okay, what's going on here? But then when episodes 3 and 4 really hit, and then it just goes from there, you're like, oh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. We're understanding what's going on. I don't know if you've seen WandaVision or not.
Yeah, I watched WandaVision.
I did.
Yeah. So remember, like right when it got to the mid episodes, that's when we're like, oh, now we're starting to understand her point of view.
Right.
Yeah.
But Kat Dennings coming back. Oh, I love Kat Dennings.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't?
I love WandaVision. I liked it until the end, and I was just like,
They dropped the ball.
But those first 3 episodes, I think, were really fresh, a fresh idea of the way of doing things, and you're just like, okay, this is different.
Yeah. And then Hawkeye was pretty much, it's pretty much like a send off. Like, he's just like, okay, well, everybody else is kind of calling it a day, so maybe, because now they're gonna bring out like the Young Avengers or the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
So so that's why you got Yelena, and then what's her name? So that's kind of like a handoff. So I don't mind that. I am curious to see how, and I really don't know. I really don't like how they renamed it, but like Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now he's Captain America. It's like, well, you can't say Captain Falcon because of the trademark for Nintendo, but still, just keep it as the Falcon. Don't need he's the new Captain America. It's like, it was kind of like a downgrade, really.
Well, they kind of did that. Well, no. Yeah, it is kind of a downgrade. I was gonna say because they have the multiverses, but then that doesn't even explain that really, because that he should just be the Falcon. Yeah. It should just be the Falcon.
Just be the Falcon because he's an original character. He's an original Marvel character. Just keep it that way.
Yeah.
And then let's see what else goes on the line. And then the next phase of Marvel, I think, should be Falcon and Winter Soldier season 2, but that hadn't been announced. Blade has been totally scrapped.
Yep.
I don't understand why.
I just want to know what dictates a TV show, what dictates a movie.
It's those writers, man.
Writers.
It's these storylines, man. Everybody's trying to do stuff, and they're trying to get the actors in there, and they're trying to do all that, and they're not writing these stories, man.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, and for instance, to Mr. B's point, is this like on She-Hulk, how she's like 100% feminist and everything, but she's talking about like, oh, she gets catcalled and guys trying to tell her how to do her job, and that is more invigorating versus what Bruce went through. He's like, dude, I saved the planet like numerous of times. I had my ass handed to me. I
Yeah,
went through like like Hulk has like been through some shit, and you're just worried about guys catcalling you and telling you how to do your job, and that's really more.
yeah, exactly. Hello, you're a superhero. Like,
And then apparently, like she's supposed to be like 15 times better than the Hulk. It's like, come on now,
and then
that's not.
and then you downgraded the Hulk of all people. Come on,
Oh,
man, what are
Yeah,
you doing?
the
yeah.
Hulk.
So the writing on that part, and then my coworker and I were talking about this. I said you got to have the good writing. I said how good shows, like one of my favorite shows back in 2001 was like 6 Feet Under, a
Hmm.
dysfunctional
Mm,
family running a dysfunctional family running a funeral home.
yeah,
The writing was so good that people were like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, yeah, yeah, I can accept that, and then throughout, the other TV shows throughout the late 90s and all this other stuff, people just really weren't paying attention, but there was a lot of representation back in the day, but it's just
yeah,
everybody's so hardcore about it because it's a popular trend. Um, and then for instance, like like Game of Thrones. I mean, the first 7 seasons was great. Season 8, they rushed it, and which they should have just taken their time with it. But then again, the studios are wanting deadlines and all this other stuff. So it's like, all right, fine,
I
whatever.
think it's when something becomes a cash cow. That's
Yeah,
when it's about the heck with the quality. Just put it out there. People are gonna love it regardless.
yeah.
yeah. But they're really not paying attention because like on Game of Thrones, the writing was so excellent. I mean, to the characters and to the
Hmm.
to the actors playing it, like the facial expression, like Charles Dance is just awesome. Peter Dinklage is just awesome. All the casting characters. So, I mean, you had violence, you had all kinds of relationships. I
Yep.
mean, and nobody batted an eye unless people really. There's like a small
Said about
percentage of
it. Yeah.
there's like a small percentage of people that really really was kind of very opinionated to it, which one of my other friends was. I mean, he's anyway. But with the writing, I mean, you had all kinds of different relationships all across the board. You
Hmm.
had violence, you had a good storyline, you had a good backstory line. I mean, and then it all worked. the Eternals. The Eternals had good writing. I really enjoyed the Eternals. Everybody was represented, and they still complained.
Yeah,
So
it
it's like,
seems like it's just lost its luster.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you scale it to 1 or 2 movies a year and maybe one or two, but you can't do 1 or 2 TV series in a year because you'll lose all your subscribers.
right.
Yeah.
You know what? We'll table this and we'll come back to it maybe next week. Because there's so much that is involved and layered in how to fix this thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Bob Iger is still the guy to even fix it.
No, I think he's pretty much writer's block on that one. Like, I don't know what to do. I mean, like the Star Wars.
Um,
I mean, Star Wars
yeah.
franchise should break off his own. Kathleen Kennedy should just be fired. Be fired or just
Well,
reassign somewhere else. But like Star Wars,
I
Star Wars
just
is.
think
Mm,
Brian, I just think you have Disney as the parent company, and you just have the smaller companies. You spin the smaller companies off, and they act as their own entity, and see if they can survive or not. Or
they were doing just fine without Disney.
right,
I mean,
Yep.
National Geographic was pretty much doing very well. I mean, I remember every Sunday my dad making me watch Nova and National Geographic.
Yep.
Sunday was PBS day.
Yes,
Right.
indeed.
Um, but I mean, yeah, I mean, like Star Wars should be its own thing. Marvel should be its own thing. Like Disney is doing too much. And I think when they're like, to your point, how you were saying, you know, they're just like, we don't care about the quality, just get it out there. We're gonna make our money
Put it
regardless.
out there.
Same thing like with this. Yeah, it was like pretty much relative like the Assassin's Creed deal, because how you had a huge fan base of the Assassin's
Mhm.
Creed, but it was like one year after another after a note. Yes, I said Nova. And then it was like year after year, it was like Assassin's Creed this, Assassin's. It was pretty much like a copy and paste thing. Same thing with Madden. It's a copy and paste. It's just like give it some time, like, but people know people are gonna buy it regardless.
Yeah. What's
I
crazy?
got
What's
a
crazy
comment.
too? One quick.
But
The
no, go ahead.
Deadpool movie. The Deadpool movie. I thought this was gonna be released under Sony.
And that's
It's gonna be
Fox.
released under Disney.
What?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
oh wait, Disney bought Fox
it's gonna be
and Sony.
PG. It's supposed to be PG.
Yeah. They got to
That's
get as
not good.
many ticket sales as, you know, for many kids, because you can't have it R-rated.
Yeah, but that's what
When's
he's
the last-
known for.
That's what makes
That's what he's
I know.
known for. That's what
Deadpool.
the Punisher's known for. You got, I mean,
Yes.
you're gonna have the Punisher say "suffering succotash"?
Come on, man.
Are you gonna
Yeah.
are you gonna have Daredevil be comedic? Be like, oh, I missed him by that much. I'm like, no,
Oh, man.
no. Deadpool is rated R, NC-17. Like it's more geared towards adults anyway.
Not anymore.
That's the reason why they didn't touch these Logan movies, these Wolverine
know.
movies, anything that involved Wolverine. You got a
I mean, it's a
PG
dark-
Wolverine?
It's
Oh
a,
my gosh!
I mean, it's a dark story, and you're gonna like. It's like watching Batman and Robin all over again. I
Hey,
mean,
we
like,
got to dip. We got to dip to the next topic.
all right,
Digital Millennial Copyright Act. And I have NBA, NFL, and UFC. There's about $28 billion on the table that these professional leagues are not receiving due to piracy, due to illegal streams, and the like. Do you think with the NBA, NFL, and UFC stating that they're ready to enforce this on these illegal websites and you know, these pirates that are out there, is it going to make a difference?
I'm all in favor of UFC, but NBA, NFL, especially NFL, like NBA, I already cut ties with them like 20 years ago. NFL is slowly wearing thin on me now with all the other stuff going on with the NFL. I'm just like whatever. But UFC, yeah. Hey, Mike.
Hey, feel the love. What's happening, Mr. Bathurst?
Mr. Bathurst, we were just speaking about you and gave you a shout out.
That is a nice tie in the picture.
Word.
Double Windsor.
Yeah, man.
Mr. B, what do you think about the DMCA? Is it going
Well,
to make a difference with live streams, illegal live streams in the United States? Not talking about global. We're just talking about United States.
in the US, I think so. If they could get through with it, then yeah. It'll be a major deal. However, the NBA and the NFL have been established for years. They make a lot of money. So if they're really concerned about that money, I guess, you know, they're gonna go for it. The UFC, this will probably be one of those bigger issues with the UFC because A lot of people pirate their things, but the NBA and the NFL, like,
They're on public
you see it
television.
on regular, yeah, you see it on regular TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regular cable, whatnot. So I was like, what are we complaining about, really? The issue here I see though is probably because everybody's moving to streaming.
Right.
So that's the money loss, I guess. The issue that's causing them to come out here, and especially this is gonna be loud for the UFC because the UFC keeps boosting their pay-per-view prices. So, but they have a product that, even though I like ESPN Plus, problem is it got its issues sometimes. The streams cut off, and it's like, yo, unless I got it on Hulu, for some reason when you watch it through Hulu, it's fine. But if you get ESPN Plus regular, it's a problem. So with that, the pay-per-views and all that, pay-per-view prices going up, people are not gonna, you know what I mean? People don't want to really deal with that. They're gonna go through and try to get their legal streams, and that's gonna be the issue. So UFC got to fix their problems there. But as far as NFL and the NBA, I think these dudes are just looking and they're like, oh, this guy's complaining. Let's just follow and see what happens here. So we'll team up with him. But other than that, it'll probably hit the US, but globally, it's gonna be an issue there, man. It's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, because I mean, like UFC, I don't know, man. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying watching UFC at the theater now.
Yeah.
I know that must be a real experience.
It's great because I don't mind paying the $22 for it, but I have a parking spot. I can actually walk in, have my seat because I pick my seat, relax in a recliner, and then order my food, and my food's there in a prompt manner versus going to like a Hooters, Twin Peaks, Bombshells, Ojos Locos, Sports Bar kind of thing where parking is a problem. Then you're trying to get in, then it's like a wait for a table. And then by the time you get to the table, then you're like, okay, which screen is it on? And there, you got like your 40 inch screen, 55 inch, 60 inch, whatever. And then you got to turn your head, order, blah, blah, blah. And then you got the wait service is going to take forever because it's so crowded in there. But at a theater, why watch it on a 65-inch TV screen when I can watch it on a theater screen?
Got it.
I mean, watching it on the Samsung Onyx is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Hey, we're gonna segue to UFC and MMA very shortly. There's a couple of questions that came in that are football related. What do you think of the Trey Lance trade to the Cowboys? I think it's a non-starter. I don't think it affects Dak.
It is going to affect Dak. It's going to affect Dak. They can downplay it all they want to. It affects Dak because when that popped up, I was like, oh.
Nah.
I don't know.
They're going to pay Dak whatever they're going to pay him. I mean, he was getting, what was he? He was getting like a top 5 quarterback salary. Yeah. Until this last round of QBs that came through. So I heard him and his team want to renegotiate his deal. And I'm like, what has this guy done? On the flip side, Trey Lance, how many passes has this guy thrown? Like in college was what, 300? And then in the L, 100? This guy's been bit by the injury bug. Yeah. And COVID and dealing with COVID and all this other stuff. I don't know. It's just, I think it's not a non-starter. I want to throw it out to you guys. What do you think?
Besides, it's the Cowboys. Who cares? Houston Texans fan.
Oh, man. Trey Lance, man.
What do you think on that?
They're putting heat under Dak Prescott's feet, man. I think that was a precious situation. They're going to look to try to build that young man up. Dak got to play better. I heard this trade was made, and Jerry didn't tell certain people about this trade that was actually happening. From what I heard,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that he didn't even specify certain people about the trade, and just went about throwing the trade out there, just making the trade happen. So it was a surprise to some people, and I heard Dak talk about it a little bit. He said he's not really pressured. He's been in the league. And I think, like, Jerry is not playing games no more.
No.
Um, Jerry wants a championship. Jerry's not getting any younger. There's a lot of money being spent in the Cowboys, and he wants to see things happen, man. So, Dak,
They
step
gotta
up.
win a Super
This man
Bowl
just got
before
rid
I
of
die.
he got rid of Elliott. He just got rid of Ezekiel Elliott.
I
You know what
know.
I mean? So, yo, job's on the line, man. Job's on the line.
Big shout out to Carmen. We give you a shout out to at the start of the show. All about the Joey podcast
Hey, Carmen.
and live stream on Wednesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. You guys figure out Pacific and Mountain and Central and everything else like that, because everything is on East Coast time. Thank you. Second question.
How about
How are
the
the New York
Astros?
Jets going to do this year with Aaron Rodgers at the helm? Well, they've done pretty well, Mr. Bathurst, on Hard Knocks. But guess what? That doesn't matter. That's scripted. That's TV. Jets will go 11-6. They won't win the division, and they'll be knocked out in the second round of the playoffs.
Fair. That's a fair assessment.
And Rodgers, he played a game. Then I think he played. He did a little something.
He played two series.
He played
two series.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. We'll see how it turns out to be in the regular season, though. Regular season, bad man things. We'll see how that works out for him, though.
Who do you think is going to be in the Super Bowl this year? I do not know. I would say a lot of people are down on the Bills. I still say the Bills are kind of the team to beat. And in the NFC, I do not know.
Wait. Where's the Super Bowl going to be held?
Arizona this year? I'm not sure.
Okay, if that's the case, if it's going to be in Arizona, I would say Seattle versus Tennessee.
Woo. Okay. Who do you have, Mr. B?
Ooh.
I would say Seattle versus Tennessee.
I don't know, but I got a Final Four.
Okay.
Final Four, I think. I'm going to take these four teams to probably make it to the Super Bowl. I'm going to take the Bills. I'm going to take Kansas City.
Yes.
I'm going to take Cincinnati. Probably Seattle. Or maybe them Jets. How about them Jets?
Yeah,
Maybe them Jets.
I know it's a ballsy pick, but hear me out. The Titans, like the last few years, the Titans have been like a threat, even though they had their mishaps in here, but they're still rebuilding. I am not knocking the Bills at all. The Bills are still they're still a top team to go to run up against. But yeah, I mean, like Cincy's a wild card. I mean, they're a 50-50 deal. Kansas City's in the mix too. So, but all in all, I think with D-Hop now in the mix and Tennessee's got a good tight end and they're gelling. I mean, they're gonna roll. So yeah, a ballsy pick. I'm gonna say Seattle and Tennessee.
All right.
Because NFC wise, I mean, I mean, San Francisco's still in the mix, but then again, you don't have your key players nor your key staff. So they're going to be slightly declining for the 49ers. And then you have Green Bay that's going to be still in the regrouping process with their new quarterback. Then you got Chicago. It's Chicago. Minnesota. Minnesota might be of honorable mention to be a contender, but the Rams are still on a steady decline. Cardinals, they're in the rebuilding process. So anything can happen, but yeah, NFC wise, Seattle. I mean, because Geno Smith has got he's got a new breath of fresh air, so we'll see how that goes.
All right. That's fair. Hey, I do want to let you guys know that last Sunday I was in Queens, Flushing, Queens, and I was there for a baseball game for the Angels and the Mets at Citi Field. First time back to Citi Field in roughly 3 years, 4 years, since COVID. Went down there, had a great day. But the one thing I will say to this is I had no idea, because also at the same time, it was the U.S. Open. And there were tons of fans, and I had been to the U.S. Open only once before. That's an actual picture I took at the U.S. Open. And the amount of fans that were down there, the amount of traffic, and I was just like, boy, this was a mistake. With the amount of time that it took for me to get down there. But, for the next 2 weeks, Flushing is the place to be. Corral Park, Flushing Meadows, U.S. Tennis Association, the U.S. Open. It's going to be down there, and NYPD estimates more than 900,000 fans will attend this country's preeminent tennis spectacle, with nearly half traveling outside of the tri-state area, while about 25% are expected to visit from abroad. It is a spectacle down there. It was just like crawling with traffic. I felt like I was out West Coast or something like that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Tennis is big time, man.
It really is.
Tennis is big time. I never knew how big tennis was. So a few years ago, my grandma took me to the Arthur Ashe Kids Fund a few years back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I met Andre Agassi. I was super young.
Nice.
And yeah, his dude was just chill. He was so chill, man. But the amount of people that came to watch this joint, man.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just amazed. I'm like, what in the world is this? And I'm like, this is just bonkers. So, when they eventually made the Barclays, to my surprise, I was shocked as hell,
Yes.
And to see how many people come out for those games, especially, when it comes to big stars coming to play on that court, whoo! And we're not talking about NBA, we're talking about tennis people. It's a big deal,
tennis
man.
people. You know what the main thing is? It's Joe, and you know this from riding the MTA. New York itself being so excited to be able to commute around the city to get to these venues. It's smarter to take the railroad or to take a local train than it is to drive down there.
Yeah. Yep.
I do want to show a couple follow-up questions. Michael said, I believe that the Buffalo Bills have a lot of inner turmoil. You can't build a solid team when there's so much drama. Tony D says Seattle's a good pick, bro. Mike says Cowboys and Ravens, maybe Eagles. Eagles are looking tough.
He said the Cowboys.
The
Oh man,
Cowboys.
Not the Cowboys,
the
but the
Cowboys.
Eagles are looking tough.
The Eagles, yeah. The Ravens, I believe that. The Cowboys,
The
oh
Cowboys.
come on, Mike, man.
Come on, Mike.
Oh.
Quick mention on referee Eric Lewis,
Oh yeah,
the
what's going on
referee
with
burner
that?
account.
He's gone, man. I'm tired.
NBA was investigating him, but you know what, Shady Joe? You know Shady got it. They were doing a full-on investigation, right? The minute he says he's retired, investigation closed.
They got what they
Game
wanted.
over.
They got what they wanted. They got what they wanted. They got what they wanted.
But you know what else is shady? The shadiness that the NBA shows the big three. I'm serious. I'm gonna go out on a limb. If Ice Cube said it,
I believe it. I believe
it. And big shout out to Jaylen Brown.
I was gonna mention that.
there.
Yeah, he stepped up and played. Yeah,
he stepped up and played in the All-Star game.
Big props.
So the $300 million man said, "You know what? I'm gonna hop on a flight. Nothing pre-propped. I'm gonna go play a game, make a comment, and then I'm out."
Yep.
But the NBA, I don't know.
Nah, and I think we need a couple more players that are playing right now to show up over there on the big three. Show them love, man. Show them love and play a game or two, something special. That's all I'm just saying.
I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this right here. You know why I'm gonna do this? Because someone earlier this morning, what did they say? They said, I don't know, you guys use Reels? I don't, for the most part, use Reels. I know we've got several people that are in our inner circle that use Reels. They're testing 10-minute versions of Reels. It sounds a lot like TikTok and everything else.
Oh boy.
TikTok and YouTube Shorts. The
10-minute Reels. Well, people's attention span is about 30 to 45 seconds. So good luck with that.
Yeah. But I muted my wonderful face. The rest of you gentlemen, I hope the rest of you gentlemen are muted right now because the app formerly known as Twitter, Mr. will call it X, I call it 10, will have voice and video calls. Do you guys?
Yeah, I'm glad you hit this because I was gonna bring it up.
Do you guys think Periscope is around the corner? I mean, let me tell you this much. When we were on the other app, you guys, not you guys per se, but there were so many people. Oh my God, I miss Periscope so much. I love it. Oh my, it's the end of the world. I heard you guys moan and groan about this, and it sounds like it's right around the corner. Voice, video calls. Next step is going to be, you got your live streaming, but you want that Periscope look and feel to it. Does this move the needle for you guys? Voice and video calls, no phone number needed. X is going to be your platform for making these calls. And I'm like, aren't you a little late to the party for this?
It's crazy that they're jumping into like the WhatsApp field though.
Well, yeah. and then on top of that too, like Snapchat does that as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Jeez.
Works on iOS, Androids, Mac, PCs, no phone number needed. X is the effective global address book. That set of factors is unique. Does this
I
mean the
hope it's
channel?
only for the check mark subscribers. But you see what they doing now with the check mark subscribers?
Yep.
If you go and you see how they luring people to get check marks now?
Yep.
You get a little bit of that ad revenue. You got a little something now, man.
Mm-hmm.
So they trying to get you to get that check mark, man. You get pay on X. Yeah. They think they slick. They think they slick. I'm on to y'all. I'm on to y'all. I see people that I know personally on there getting check marks now, and I'm like, wait a minute. Y'all learn people to get that pay to play. Okay, I see you.
I mean, was it eight? Is it still $8 a month?
Something like that.
Something like that.
So $8 a month, that's nothing. Because I mean, we spend $8.50 or $9 on a cup of coffee a day.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I'm making coffee. I ain't spending no money on coffee.
Tony D says, watch it. It's only going to be for the checkmark subscribers. LOL,
Yeah.
Of course. If you are paying to subscribe, you have all these features.
He said, I told you, man.
It's going to be bananas.
He said, I told you, man. Yeah. Force people to get check marks. You can get paid. You can get all this stuff.
Mike says, I totally disagree. They need to do 10-minute reels.
Yeah, but people's attention span don't go past a minute. Unless those that are very logical.
Yeah.
So right now, our cameras are turned off. Do you feel like you're on Periscope right now?
Yeah.
Do you have that feeling?
I'm out here.
Yo, you're just out here with just your avatar.
Should I come back? Should I come back in the social media? The bigger pool? Go from the kiddie pool to the bigger pool? No. I take that back. Okay. I'm at the pool. I'm at the pool, but my feet are in the water. I'm not in the pool. I'm not fully in the pool, but I'm just watching y'all play.
You are the pool. To be.
Oh, dude! If they make
what is going on in the world of MMA and combat sports? Could you give us a mini version of the B-sides for this weekend?
No, this is cool, man. I think I could do this in under 10 minutes, man, because it's not long. It's really short. We went on the last weekend. Last weekend we had Alexander Usyk and Daniel Dubois fight. There was some controversy with that 5th round shot, the body shot, that some people call a low blow. Some people are saying that was pretty cool to the body. I'm kind of 50-50 on it because this man pulled his pants all the way up to his belly. And so eventually Usyk won. 9th round stoppage, was it? Yeah. Tired out Dubois. Dubois took a knee. He dropped him again. A lot of people said that Dubois quit. It's just that Dubois is a big guy. 25 years old. He's a big dude. He had to keep up with that pace of Usyk. Usyk stopped him. It is what it is. Now we're going to wait to see what happens in October between Fury and Ngannou. I know Joshua's sitting there waiting. There's a whole bunch of other people calling out for something, for a fight. We'll see what happens there. I know Philippe Hargovic is next up to fight Usyk. He has a mandatory, so he'll be next in line. We'll wait and see. Other than that, TKZ, the Korean Zombie, he retired. Woke up Saturday morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, watched this whole event. Got to that main event. That boy Max Holloway and Chan Sung Jung went to war. It lasted about 3 rounds. Max Holloway knocked out the Korean Zombie. The Korean Zombie has not been knocked out cold in quite nearly 10 years, about 10 years or more. Yeah. But Chan Sung Jung retires. He had got one title shot during his run against Jose Aldo years ago. He had a separated shoulder in mid-fight. Unfortunate, but he retires being a top 10 fighter in the featherweight division. Godspeed to him. So and we had Jared Anderson win his fight against Rudenko. That was a 5th round stoppage. That was pretty good. He improved a lot from that fight against Charles Martin. Other than that, we came in this week. So this week, we had the Contender Series. The Contender Series is pretty cool. The Dana White's Contender Series, if you watch it, is pretty dope. But you're not trying to hear me to hear that, right? Backtrack real quick. The PFL main event that happened on Wednesday last week was pretty dope. Go check that out if you have ESPN Plus, or even if you have YouTube, or you're on social media and you check out the highlights of PFL 9. Shane Burgos versus Clay Collard. Madness. But this weekend, there's one boxing fight I recommend you go watch, and there is the UFC. Liam Smith rematches Chris Eubank Jr. in a fight that they had earlier this year, where Liam Smith stopped Chris Eubank, knocked him out in the 4th round. Totally outclassed Chris Eubank Jr. Was really shocking, but it was a really good fight. This time coming around, I know Eubank was training with Roy Jones. He kind of dropped Roy Jones and went to do his own thing all over again. Both of these guys are former champions in the top of their divisions. Somewhere in the top of the divisions, title challengers pretty much. But this will be a rematch. The card is going to be pretty good. Adam Azim is in the co-main event. He's out of the UK. Really solid boxer, boxing at the 140 super lightweight against Aram Fania out of the Ukraine, who's 23-1. My dude Fraser Clark will be boxing on here as well against Dave Allen. And there's a couple other good fights on here. But, Michaela Mayer's on this card too. Forgot about that. More than likely, you'll hear her say something about Alicia Baumgartner and Baumgartner's test results. You know how that thing is still going on. But UFC got an event in France. Yes, France. They go back to Paris, France. As the former title challenger, former interim champion, and 2-time title challenger Cyril Gahn faces Sergey Spivak. Spivak is a big, monstrous heavyweight, born on the Ukraine, but resides in Moldova. Big, heavy wrestler, just a giant mass of a man. Cyril Gahn, for people who don't know, is a very skilled French kickboxer who exhibits insane speed and insane striking ability. He's a guy who's about 250 pounds, but moves like a 125 pounder, which is odd to believe, but it really is true. In the co-main event, Manon Fiorot from France will be facing, she's the number 2 flyweight title contender, facing the former strawweight champion and currently number 2 in that strawweight ranking, Rose Namajunas. Namajunas will be moving up to 125 to face this lady. Whoever wins is possibly not next up in the flyweight for a flyweight title shot. Okay, the rest of this fight goes, we got this dude Benoit Saint Denis fighting Thiago Moises. Both of these dudes moving up in the lightweight division. Former title challenger Volkan Ozdemir will be facing a dude by the name of Bogdan Guskov in light heavyweight. Guskov is out of Uzbekistan. He looks pretty sizable, pretty skilled. We'll see how that works out. And a guy who's on the hot streak somewhat by the name of William Gomez, who's out of France. Interesting enough, France is known for kickboxing skills, but this dude can wrestle. Wrestlers in France is a rarity, and he's really good. And he'll be facing this dude by the name of Yanis Gemori, who's out of France as well. The rest of the card is pretty solid. One half of the Bashrat brothers is fighting on the card. A dude from Cage Warriors by the name of Reese McKee will be making his return. He came in during the 2020. He got cut, and he's managed to win a title in Cage Warriors and come back. Also, another dude by the name of Cowlin Lofran, who also won a title in Cage Warriors, will be making his debut on this card as well. So good fights all around. And that's it, man. There was some other stuff, but if you want to see that, you know where to find me. Listen to all that other stuff, but that's all I got to say about that.
Thank you, Mr. B. We're going to go to the comments real quick.
And see, Tony, I kept it under 10 minutes. Shut up.
Yes, Carmen, we're still talking about sports.
Rick Costa is in the building. Rick, what's going on?
Hey, Rick.
Beltalowda.
Rick not only does the All About the Joy podcast and stream, but he's, if I'm not mistaken, he still streams every day. I think for something like 10 straight years or 8 straight years. It's insane. It's continuity. Are we still talking about sports? We just wrapped up. Michael says, I love that I can support Twitter. Twitter has made me so much money over the years. It's opened many doors for me. Carmen says, it's so funny that it's like foreign language to me. I love sports, but I don't know jack. Ha 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 ha. Hey, you.
So I guess
he's crazy.
Take that, Tony.
Take that, Tony D.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess, you know, once it starts building up more momentum, I mean, I guess we could add Power Slap League as well. Hey, what's up?
Hey.
We could do like
Leslie.
Yeah, so I guess with the Steam Rolls, we could do Power Slap.
Don't talk about no Power Slap, dog. You want me to talk about Power Slap? Well, we have time. Whenever we have time, the event comes around. And an event comes around.
I do want to talk about again the book that I showed earlier, Wash Day by Tiffany Golden. The book itself drops October 17th, 2023, and it's a sweet and honest exploration of the beauty and the tradition of wash days, offering gentle guidance and framing the all-day affair as an act of self-care. This picture book serves as an avenue to demystify and educate others on natural hair care routines, which are often misunderstood and stigmatized. So it's about a little girl named Jalila who doesn't like wash days. Shout out to Tiffany Golden, who we will have on in, I don't know, we'll do a live stream or we'll probably do something live about the author and these type of books and people that self-publish and everything like that. We're getting ready to wrap up.
I'm doing good, Peaches. How are you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Who's in the building? Leslie, how you doing? Was gonna send you a message today because we definitely miss you. Isn't this a banned book? I don't think so. But even if it is a banned book, we're still gonna have her on. Oh, yeah. I thought this was a banned book. How is everyone? We are great. We hope you are doing well too.
Splendid.
Thank you. Who wrote the book? Who are we supporting? We are supporting Tiffany Golden, who we will have on. I'll try to have her on next week. Try to have her on sometime next week.
Oh, cool.
Okay, cool. Tiffany Golden, great. I shall purchase and support. That is true. Guys, pretty touchy topic here. I know we're at the hour 10-minute mark. I just have it at term limits. Okay? It was really painful to watch a politician on TV this week. I'm not a medical doctor, and we don't have any on this live stream right now. That he was up there and he seemed frozen, and it was just like, you don't know if it was a stroke, if it was this, it was dementia, if it was just, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. I looked at that, and we always talk offline about term limits and people not being in these high stressful positions for 20 and 30 and 40 years and stuff like that. But it was just painful just watching this. It was just like it's like you're watching that slow motion car crash and you're like, what in the world?
Yep.
It wasn't good.
Because I mean, I don't understand how you could be a senator for like 50 years. And
you know what? Carmen, Brian, if I could just interject, Carmen, it's I say it's a touchy subject because I got a dad that age. And it's like, does he totally have his fastball from 20, 30 years ago? No, he doesn't. So I took the politics out of it, and I looked at the as a person, and I'm just like, how do you have you up here like this, or how do you have yourself up here like this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, not Harley. He's not trying to run the country and charge millions of people. No, he's not.
But
and that's why it makes it scary for Mitch, man.
And then the thing about it is, though, if everybody else has got to retire between the ages 60 to 65, so should politicians, hands down.
And it's just,
That's across the foot. That the fossils need to retire at 65. Like, get them all the ones that are past 63, retire. All of them.
Jeez. That was the thing, which is.
Yes, they need to retire because they can't function like they used to. They do.
Decision making will be a little different from when you're, you know what I mean? You're looking at things from a different viewpoint. When you're there, and like, let's say you get your position at like 40 something, your views will change by the time you're 60 something. So it's kind of like, viewpoints.
I'll tell you guys. I'll tell you guys this much. My viewpoints 30 were different at 40, and they're definitely different now at 50.
Oh. You know what I mean?
Carmen says if you're a dressmaker or a writer or an actor, you can be 40. You could be 80 years old. I don't care. And she chimes in and says Harrison Ford make 9 more movies if he wants, but politicians need to stop.
I think Harrison Ford's at the point where he's retiring. I mean, because like a lot of the older actors are retiring. Jack Nicholson pretty much retired.
What's the name? Harrison Ford is signed up for Marvel for the Red Hulk. For
the Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
Thunderbolt Ross.
Yeah.
He's gonna be Ross?
No, he's not gonna be Ross. No, he can't be Ross.
No, he is because
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
William Hurt passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
William Hurt passed away.
but you still got Sam Elliott who played the original, General Ross. You got
He
Yo,
Sam
they don't
is
Elliott.
care. They
underdog.
don't care, bro. Come on, man. Look how many
Yeah.
Hulks we had, dog.
I swear these writers. I tell you, these writers.
Yo, these people,
Uh,
man. They don't care, man.
what else? Do you guys even care about Disney's? I mean, Nielsen's plans includes Amazon's
Yeah,
internal data.
politicians do need to stop. You're absolutely right.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me go back to that then.
Yeah.
Let me go back to that. So we're the dressmaker.
Yeah, that's what we're
Harrison
saying.
Ford. Exactly. Harrison Ford is not retiring. My point is, if you're doing something that doesn't affect millions of people, then work for as long as you want. Politicians need to stop.
Yeah,
And
politicians do need to
worse,
stop. Yeah.
the people around them enabling them are at fault. If I could put a star around this one, I would. And
Yeah.
worse, the
You heard-
people around them enabling them are at fault because it's just like,
You
okay, these people shouldn't be in these roles anymore, and you're telling this politician how to vote, who to vote for, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's what's happening, man. Because what you gonna do? You know what I mean? They're gonna be there, and whatever they do, you know, the majority of those folks around them are gonna make that person push their narrative, push their agenda, and then boom, something happens. Now that person goes away. Then what? Oh boy, I see who's here.
Who's in the building?
What's going on, man?
What's happening,
What
dog? What's
is
happening,
going
boss?
on? This is
I apologize.
Boss.
I just got home early, so appreciate y'all.
What's
having
that?
me.
Hey,
Jojo
no
was
problem,
good.
man.
Ted was good. Brian, what's happening?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get in the house, man. Let me get my Sonic food in the house and everything.
All right. Glad
I'm
you
gonna
in here.
sit here and do the Periscope thing for all the fellow Periscopers out there. Let you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a Periscoper, but you know, since everyone was always crying about it, and oh my God, I miss Periscope so much.
Yeah.
Yo, I beg your pardon. You said people crying about Periscope, sir?
Yes, they was. Yes, they are.
Yo, sir.
On that other platform.
Sir, I was on Periscope, sir. I take offense to
Oh,
that,
right,
sir.
right.
Oh, you
I take offense to that, sir.
I'm talking about the people on the other platform that used to be like, "Oh my God, I miss Periscope. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's going away."
They still miss Periscope. Let's keep it 100. They still miss Periscope for real. They really do. And I'm actually tripping because this is what people actually miss, and I'm gonna be a stickler for it. I missed the other platform for the video conferencing and the fact that we showed that we was real. When people can do this and be whoever they want to be, is this what you really miss? I get it, but come on, man, let's grow up. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
Well, that's old social media. I'm with the new social media, the video conferencing aspect of it.
I'm still gonna shed a tear for Periscope though, but
You can go ahead. You're one of the criers.
He's not a crier.
I need a pulsating flower.
You just got here and I'm gonna fight you already, Tony.
Hey, I just want to address this topic real quick about Nielsen. I know you guys don't care about it, but it's something that's really, really big because they're going to tip the scales and the current favor. And so Nielsen is allowing Amazon to put their own internal data along in with Nielsen's ratings for Thursday Night Football. And you say, why does this matter? This matters because money. This matters because of sponsorships.
If it don't make
once again, you said don't make dollars, it don't make sense?
If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So if you put the ratings up there, the ratings give you sponsorships.
Yes, indeed.
Come on, man.
So football season is upon us, and TV networks are streamed at Nielsen's plan for measuring Amazon Prime's Thursday Night Football streaming block. So the current plans allow Amazon to use their first-party data to supplement reporting. Do you ever
Mhm.
see anything? I mean, there's no checks and balances here. It's viewership for the block, a move that could set a precedent for other streamers to do the same. Because, you're saying, hey, we do stuff like this. In 10 years, the Super Bowl will be on a streaming service rather than your local over-the-air TV channel.
I'd like to get first on this when you finish, please.
So a move could set a precedent to allow other streamers to do the same and further undermine Nielsen's position as an objective, impartial ratings dating aggregator. So the Video Advertising Bureau has objected to the Nielsen change, and the Media Rating Council is expected to rule on the decision sometime tomorrow. Yet, it's another reminder that impartial measurement options are a critical component of any media industry. I'll give Tony D the floor.
If you don't mind. Gentlemen, y'all good with this?
Rock on.
Appreciate you.
Go ahead,
Let's get first. What's up, Leslie? What's up, Rick? What's up, Carmen? Jason West, I see you down there. Phase on. What's good, bro? How you living?
Jay West.
Jason.
What's Mr.
My boy Young Bleed in the building. Young Bleed.
Gary Boxing, how you doing? Touring AFC South was in the house. All right, let me do this.
Wait. Before you go, I just want Leslie, this was not towards you about me sounding like a clown, clowning on people about Periscope. You were not included in the pack. Okay, Tony, the floor is yours.
Nah.
And I'm going to go ahead and say I didn't include Leslie either. She does miss Periscope. A lot of people do, and I'm around a bunch of folks who miss it. We used to hear it on the former platform. The thing with the ratings, there was a big issue with the ratings being decreased due to streaming. They were going to have to do this. This was evolutionary. I believe we actually covered this one time before and we talked about it. They got to. If they're losing the numbers from people who are not doing cable anymore and everybody's just doing internet, we're doing Wi-Fi only. We're not going to pay for cable. You got too many apps out there. We can watch any and every movie. We can watch the news on Tubi for free. There's almost no need to watch cable anymore. If you don't have Tubi, the app Tubi, you might want to check it. They got a lot of local news channels up there. They'll give you a couple of the major network news channels, so you'll get your highlights without having to pay for cable anymore. Everything ESPN or whatever, you subscribe to ESPN, all of that craziness. So this was evolutionary. And it's like I said before, what we did 10, 20 years ago, 5, 10 years ago, social media-wise, we got to come beyond that. We got to come past that. Matter of fact, I'm turning my camera on because I can't take this crap. Y'all are ridiculous with this. Turn your cameras on, but I understand. As much as I pick on Periscope, people want to keep themselves secret and keep their information private due to the doxers, the gaslighters, and the trolls. I give y'all that respect for that. The problem I have are the ones who are doxing, gaslighting, and trolling, and we can't find out who the hell they are. That's the issue with social media and the internet. Period. Dot. End the story. NFL, the NBA, the MLB, the soccer leagues. If you play cricket, if you play what's that mess with the ice and you scraping on there with the little thing going, all that craziness.
Hockey.
All that craziness right there. All those sports.
Nah, that Olympic joint.
Yeah.
Curling.
Curling. Thank you. All of the sports are going to have to capitulate for this. Honestly, seriously, and totally. You are losing your viewership dealing with the major networks when people can do it just like this. We're carrying regular conversations, not offensive. Even though I can go there every now and then. I'll probably be up next after this. So that's not like also that, all that. It's just going to have to happen. And we're going to have to face it. The same way we got to face it with the bots. We got to face it with the internet being no, Carmen, not hockey. It was curling. I meant curling. I didn't mean hockey. Seriously. All those sports, everything. Almost anything and everything you got. Even music has to do it. You got to go to streaming. It doesn't even pay to sign a major record deal anymore. You sign a major record deal to get the contract money, to get the advance. But after that, you got to make the money on your own. And they've been talking about like that. It's just facts. It's just facts. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I know y'all over the time, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, Jason's still like talking about the whole OnlyFans.
Don't start that. Don't start that.
Jason, you can turn your camera on, man.
He talked about it like a year or two ago.
Yeah, I don't want to. He still brings it up, man. He still brings it up.
Just make sure you get your 5 elements.
Oh my god.
Oh, he no longer has it. No 5 elements.
Yeah, Jason had an OnlyFans. He was wilding.
Get one. I do not have an OnlyFans. If you see an OnlyFans with me on it, report it. It's not me. I don't do that. I don't do that.
Oh
Report
my goodness.
Report it. And if you're a real hood dude, go get my money.
Oh my God! What are we doing here? Yo.
I just sat in Sonic listening to you all. I never sat in Sonic for so long away from my burger in my life. I'm sitting there like, what are you doing? It actually got to a point of screaming. It's like, this server is coming with your order. You should have been here. Normally don't take 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't even get a special burger. Only thing I asked for was no tomato. They went back and replanted the damn thing. That's how long it took.
You got it from whatever. Wait, you picked up the burger?
Nah, I ordered it.
DoorDash.
You go to Sonic and get your food in 5 minutes, no problem.
Oh, you DoorDashed it?
No, I went up there myself.
Oh, okay.
Went up there myself. Shout out to you. Shout out to you doing your segment in 10 minutes. I was impressed. You actually finished your segment.
Yeah. Hey, Tone.
Yo, dog. When I put a timer on it, I guarantee it, dog.
I think it's because you've been doing your own streams. B-sides, ladies and gentlemen, check out my man JoJo, Mr. B.
Tone.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the plug.
Tone, do you have the fork that you could bang against the plate?
No, I'm using burger.
When you're taking a fork and you just
scraping nothing right now. I'm not scraping. You're not gonna do anything.
So you go ting 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 ting.
That was the other night. I've been struggling.
What else? Wait, hold on. I think there's one more thing to talk about. And then we can get to what are we doing right now. I know I kind of jumped the gun. What are we doing right now? This is New York, 100 years of the city and art and pop culture.
Yo, Jason, when I catch you, I'm gonna punch you right in your nose. Yo. Look what this fool wrote. Look at this fool type.
10 minutes or less.
Look how he typed.
Wait, hold on.
You got too many windows open. Man. This is what I miss about what we had on the other platform. We used to be up here and act up with each other, man. Most of y'all don't do this when you broadcast. I'm sorry.
10 minutes or less, only fans.
Oh my God.
We were trying to do an educational program, and
it took many twists and turns, y'all. Many twists and turns.
Yeah, it kind of did. It's okay.
Well, we thank you for being here still.
And you guys are still here for some reason. Let's see. Maybe I could do this. Nah, Jay, you good. You good. So last thing I have is an article on the Museum of the City of New York. I'm talking about 100 years in art and pop culture. It's open. It opened early summer, and it's going to run until next summer. If you guys can get down, if you're in the city, it talks about all the great things. Article is available on latenightparents.com. There's a few videos, but after the last comment of Mr. B, minute less on OnlyFans, I can't top it. So I'm just gonna leave it. I can't top that comment right there. It's just like, oh. So we get to the point. Hang on, guys. It's too many windows open. What are we doing right now? Well, we got the Four Horsemen are here. Brian TX is here. Mr. B is here. Tony D is here after a long absence.
I made
Senor Rick. Senor Rick.
Mhm.
Come on, Senor Rick. What are you doing? What are you doing?
That New York history. That's a lot of history in New York. When I was a kid, they used to take us to all the museums. I couldn't remember. There's a lot of history in New York City, for real.
Jason and Rick. Come on, yo.
Big, big, big.
They're wilding right now. It's like I said, it's off the rails right now. So we're
So you
done.
see, that's your problem, Jason. You always got to do something, and then you just come on, man. You got everybody following. Yo.
Make sure you follow Mr. B.
What?
Or,
All right,
the
come
B-side
on, man. Come
podcast.
on. Yes, indeed.
Maybe a few other things.
Nah, it's just the B sides. It's just the B sides. No other side. Just the B. Oh, damn. I can't even help myself.
He just killed himself. He just killed himself.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap this thing up. But before we wrap this thing up, Tony, what are you eating right now? What type of burger? Is it a tasty burger?
Number 3 combo from Sonic. The
Number 3.
the double bacon, the bacon double cheeseburger from Sonic.
All right.
Okay.
Sonic be hitting.
Sonic will hit you. Yeah, Sonic, you need to change the pace every now and then. Plus, everything's up. Pretty much everything else was closed. Wendy's was only taking cash. You're gonna wait 3 years after COVID to talk about you only taking cash. Go on with that nonsense. I'm just saying.
Oh my goodness.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
All right. Ryan, where can we find you? Where can we see what's going on with you? All the above.
For right now, you can find me here on Snapchat at Thailander_F150. I'm still pondering whether I should jump back on the X or the 10 or whatever you want to call it.
The app formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm debating, but so far Snapchat at Thailander_F150.
All right, cool. Tony, before we go down the Tony route, Rick says he misses seeing you floss on Haps.
You know I got it with me, right? I'm trying to behave.
Jay West says, Brian, I'm gonna come to Texas and drop a Slurpee in the street and shut down Texas.
He said.
There's not a it is very possible that might happen.
He said, what the hell, man?
And then he'd be like, in your face.
This guy.
Jay West, I'm telling you.
You
gotta have you come up there, Jay.
Yeah, man. That man's a trip.
That's
what else?
See, talking on the nose, that's why he lost his 5 elements.
Tone, I do have a question for you. When are we doing the fantasy football draft?
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. I did a broadcast last week proposing to do it last Sunday. Didn't get a response from one person, the champ. He was the only one that responded. So this Sunday, I do believe I will be available. I will be broadcasting Sunday morning. I do realize you're going to be busy Saturday, Ted. I thought about doing it then, but shout out to my
able to be home. I may be able to be home Saturday night. Are you working? You going to be available Saturday? No?
I'll be available Saturday night. I'll probably be on a jump over Glick for a little bit. I haven't been up there in a while. That's a normal night. I'm gonna see how everything's going. I got a few things going on here, but I did see that you're going to be busy Saturday. I also did see what Mike Patton said. The 53-man rosters are pretty much.
What's going on, man?
Rich V, what's good?
The real Richie V.
53-man rosters are set for these teams. We need to go ahead and go. We need to go ahead
Get
and
the
go.
roster set for the team. All right.
I have the BB game Sunday morning. I got to check on a couple of things here, but I should be game to go Sunday morning for it. And if we can get everybody there, if everybody's on board, I say we do it. I'm ready. I was just waiting for the rosters to be set. Do their study. Everybody's been waiting for it and wondering. Y'all need to be ready definitely by Sunday morning. It shouldn't take long. I realize Sunday morning is a bad time for a lot of people, but I should.
What time Sunday morning?
What time do I always come on, Brian? You the co-host.
Oh,
you are the original.
My bad. Okay.
I always tell you what time.
You're an hour ahead of me. I gotta keep remembering that.
But you got notifications at the same time every Sunday.
Yes, I do. Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I'm looking at Sunday morning would be very good for me.
11, 12, like 11, 10:30, 11.
I say we do it 10:30 because people have to think after all the trades start coming in and all the people start picking their plays.
Okay. I
myself will be ready. I can't speak for everybody else.
Do we have? Is it going to be a 10-player league, a 12-player league?
We are short one player. We do need a replacement player.
Okay.
I don't think that'll be too hard to find, but everybody wants to be finicky on how they do things. So if I got to drop, I'll take myself out to take it down to 10. Just for everybody else.
Don't do that.
I can do that. I can do that. I'm already in 3 other leagues. I can do that. I just want to make sure the league's good.
I do want to shout out my boy.
He wants to do a fantasy football podcast his damn self now.
Who?
Glick.
Oh, word.
Shout out to Glick.
And he's got a league. Yeah, he set up a league. I did sign up under there. That's not a problem. I can do fantasy football for free, no problem. Very easy. I just need to know.
How many different leagues are you going to be a part of?
4 right now.
How do you have the bandwidth for 4 leagues?
Because a bunch of them are on the same apps. I've done 9 in one season.
Okay.
I just know who I want on my team. And that's what I go for.
Okay.
So cool. So if Smoke's going to join it again, is getting the first round pick.
Probably. We got to set it up first. And like I said, I need to know when everybody's ready to go.
Because he finished off at what, 0-10?
Yeah, Smoke was busy last year. We knew that. But he said he's going to be good this season.
Yeah, he did what you call it.
And in all honesty, please, and everybody who's in the league, do me a favor. Check last Sunday's broadcast for what I proposed. I can't be ready Sunday. If I'm available Saturday, I will let everybody know. I do not know right now. I do have a couple of things going on my end that I think Ted knows about. I don't think I told everybody, but I'm actually in a flux on my schedule. Just so you know, Ted, things did pick up today.
Okay.
To get it over with. Once again, I am not happy, but I'm here. People want me to get it done, so I'm gonna start putting.
You got to move forward.
Yeah, I got about a month.
Okay.
So Sunday's going to be excellent prime. I just want to get the league set, and then we'll just go from there afterwards. Honestly.
I do want to shout out the real Richie V, one of the originators to Late Night Parent Podcast when we used to air on 12:40 a.m. WGBB.
Rich V, much respect, bro. Much respect. Ted's been holding
Michael saying hello to Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea is saying hello back to Michael. It's good to see you.
Indeed.
Ted's been holding us down. So you know, he's been holding us down for real.
So we're gonna do the draft and everything else like that.
And Monday's a holiday for me, so if I can push it back to Monday, I'm good.
Push it back on Monday.
I want to get it over with. Everybody's asking when, and then when I give a date, and then even when I popped up, everybody knows I come on Sunday morning for it. The season's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
I myself would have been looking for it if I was in the league, if somebody was broadcasting. But like I said, everybody didn't show up. Golf Hawk was the only one that responded. So like I said, I should be good Sunday morning to get it done.
Okay.
Start
This
the
year should be
broadcast,
my year.
put everything up, and we just go. It's probably going to take. You got to set the draft up an hour and a half before the time you want to do it. I do remember that from last year. That's why I needed.
But aren't most of the people going to auto draft anyway?
Not
People
me.
want to be there. Most people want to be there for the draft.
Okay.
Any league that I've been in, they want to be there.
Nah,
Okay.
I was there. I was there for the draft. I want to be there.
Right. Most people want to
Yeah, I
be
don't
there.
wanna
That's
miss
what
out.
I'm trying to make it to where everybody's there. If we sit back and we
Yeah.
do auto draft, there's going to be complaints. We do know of one already, but he already said he was going to be preoccupied, which I understood. He told me just go ahead and go with it, but he wants to be there. So I'm trying to set up so everybody can be there. I'll be guilty of that.
Okay.
I'll be guilty of that. But I know we'll be down one player. I got to take them out, then I got to figure out to bring the other one in. So we'll go from there.
Tony D, what's the best way we can find you?
Linktree Tony D. Original. I'm tired. I'm lying. You can find me on TikTok, TONYTON197223. You can find me on Twitter, TONYTON163. You can find me on Instagram, Twitch, Rumble, and Clapper, and D Live. TONYTON72. I added them on, trying to add more platforms so that I can broadcast it out. I'm having complications adding D Live onto Restream, and I don't know why. I am on Clapper. Apparently, that's for 35 and older. And some of you little young knuckleheads on the internet are getting on my nerves. I'm about to diss myself for some of you. I really am. Y'all getting on my nerves. But other than that, you will also find me as a random multi-broadcaster. When I do broadcast, I do my music video broadcast every now and then. I'm probably going to do one the next, like a little bit more time than I normally have. I could do one for an hour real quick. Bell Kings Fantasy Football League should be Sunday morning. Look for me around 10:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. If that is too early, I understand. I do need to hear from league members to get this done. I've had a couple acts. They want to know when. I will let them know. Some don't show up. Others are busy. I get it. I'm working on Sunday morning being available. Let's do this. Appreciate you, Ted.
Mr. B, where can we find you?
Gotcha. All right. New Year, same B at Mr. B 1986 on the app formerly known as Twitter. I stream fights on this app called OK Live. You can check it out. On Wednesdays, I do this little podcast thing with combat sports called the B-Sides of the Fight Game with Mr. B, as you see right there in the little avatar joint there. Yeah, man. And as I mentioned, whenever this fight's around, I'm streaming on OK Live, so check that out. And whenever somebody's streaming, well, if somebody's podding and they need an extra hand, I'm here, man. But other than that, that's all. Yes, sir.
All right. Tonight's episode was called Rhymes with Shout. And guess what? We're out.